Hello and welcome to the ScanSource Thermal Barcode Printer training. In this session, we'll discover what a thermal barcode printer is and why your customer may need one. We'll also take a look at some of the specifications for barcode printers and go over some technical questions you need to ask your customer in order to sell them the correct printer. Let's get started. A thermal barcode printer is exactly what the name implies, a special printer designed to print crisp, perfect barcodes on various forms of media. The main reason a specialized printer is needed is due to the poor quality of other more common printers. For example, dot matrix printers have the worst quality for barcodes, followed closely by laser printers. Inkjet printers are a little better, but still not enough to pass some compliance verifications. With these types of printers, either the print quality will be poor, the printer prints too slowly, or it won't allow you to print media other than paper labels. No matter which you choose, you may get a barcode that can be read by one scanner, but not another, and it will most likely be out of industry compliance. In the simplest of terms, a barcode printer uses a heated print head that will either melt a special ink ribbon onto the label, or it will use a special heat-sensitive media that will appear to burn the barcode into the label. Let's take a quick look at both types. Direct thermal printing is the process where the printer prints directly onto specially chemically treated paper labels that, when heat is applied, will darken. An advantage of direct thermal printing is that a ribbon is not needed, thus saving time and money. But it doesn't come without a trade-off. Direct thermal labels do not stand up to heat or light, so if they're stored in sunlight or for a long term in a warehouse, the labels will fade and eventually become unreadable. Direct thermal will also create more print head wear, which means it will have to be replaced sooner. You will see this type of printing typically used for temporary labels like FedEx or UPS shipping. Thermal transfer printing uses the same heating process as direct thermal, but instead of printing directly onto the label, it uses a ribbon, thus transferring the ink onto the label. Some advantages to thermal transfer are longer lasting, crisper barcodes, and a wider range of media available. This includes plastic or polyester labels and various ribbon types depending on the environment the label will be used in. The disadvantage to thermal transfer printing is simply cost. Due to the time it takes to replace the ribbon and the fact that more consumables are used, it makes it more expensive to operate. The first class we'll look at will be desktop printers. These are lower cost, smaller, and are best for low volume on-demand printing. Batch printing with these should be limited. The next class is tabletop printers. These range from entry-level all the way to industrial. Each subclass within the tabletop class simply differs in volume and speed, from low volume, small batches, all the way up to industrial 24/7 mission critical applications where a stopped printer means lost revenue. The next class is mobile barcode printers. These are equal in quality to the desk and tabletop versions, but are simply battery operated and portable. These are usually used in conjunction with a mobile computer and often vehicle mounted. The final class are thermal barcode print engines. These are integrated into existing equipment. They are often seen with applicators which apply the label to the product as it passes. DPI, or dots per inch, is what determines the resolution of the barcode. Some common DPI ratings are 203, 305, 406, and 609 DPI. The higher the number of dots, the better the resolution, but the slower the printing will be. While 203 is standard, Your customer may need a higher resolution depending on what they're printing. Print width is another attribute shared with all thermal printers. The standard print widths are 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10 inches. Your customer's requirements will dictate what size this needs to be. The top of form sensor determines how the labels are lined up within the printer. The type of media your customer is using will determine which sensor is needed. The common types are gapped media, notch media, black bar or mark media, or continuous media. Another attribute is interface. Basically, what does your customer want to connect the printer to? These choices can be parallel, RS-232, USB, network wired, and wireless. There are also a couple of legacy interfaces that are rarely used but still exist. These are RS-433 and 485 serial, twin-ax, and coax. Some options that your customer may require are peel for removal of the liner and present for on-demand printing. Another option is a cutter. This allows you to print and have each label dispensed separately. Rewind is also an option for barcode printers. This is a device that is either contained within the printer or an external that sits in front of it. An external or internal rewind will allow for batch printing. An internal rewind can also be used to take up the liner if needed for peel and present. A few questions to ask your customer would include, what is the application, or how is the printer to be used? What environment will the printer be used in, or how durable does the printer need to be? How many labels per day is the printer going to be printing? Will peel and present, a cutter, or rewind be needed? What interface are you connecting into? What type of media will you be using? We hope that you've enjoyed learning about thermal barcode printers. Thank you for watching.